Hello everybody, this is Juan from Juan's Garage, and this is your garage tip of the day. So this is a 2014 Ford Edge, but it can apply to most any cars, okay? Every car is going to have what they call a throttle body. So the air comes in through your filter here, okay, through here, and then into your throttle body, and that's what helps it breathe, okay? Now our throttle body is here. So if you follow your filter from your filter box, it's going to have some tube and some other chamber maybe. And eventually there's going to be a place where there's a nozzle, and it's going to go to what we call a throttle body. That has a butterfly valve that swings open and closed, and it gets dirty and gummed up. So what you have to do every once in a while is you have to clean it. So in this video, we're going to show you how to take this thing apart and clean it. Let's start with some basic things, okay? Like on this one and on most cars, you're going to have a sensor plug here. I had already pulled it out, but I wanted to show you guys. It has a sliding lock. So pull this little red locking tab out and then pinch it, and you'll see this little lever release, and you can pull it out. On the other side is another vacuum line or some kind of hose. Not quite sure what that is. And looking underneath here, there's another hose we're going to have to unplug, okay? So I'm going to unplug these, I'm going to get this out of the way, and then we'll go on to the next step. What I forgot to mention was there are two hose clamps. One right here, and that's an 8mm socket, and another one here, okay? So you loosen those up, and then what you can do is you can slide this, and now it'll loosen up, and you can take this assembly off without taking a whole bunch of other stuff off, okay? Now, this hose underneath your assembly here, it goes onto this guy here, and you see it's got that lip. Well, it's held on by a clip here. So what you have to do, you can see on the back side, hard to see, but there's a clip here, and you just have to pull him open. So you can pull this hose off and get it off that lip. So now that you got your box out of the way, come over here and you undo this clip here. And remember, it's got the red locking tab. Pull that back, squeeze the black connector up, or the black pressure point up here, and it'll release. Pull it out. I'm going to show you something. See that black rim there? Okay, and see how black and dirty it is underneath, behind that, behind your butterfly valve? We got to clean that out. And you should probably do it, I don't know, every 25, 30,000 miles. If you want to keep your car running in tip-top shape, don't let it go past 50,000 miles. Then you're going to have to, you know, it'll give you problems. Okay, so we take these 4 bolts off. You got 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they're 8mm bolts. So take those out next. So once you get those 4 bolts out, this thing should come out pretty easy, and it does. If not, you might have to pry it off a little bit. But this is what it looks like when you pull it off, okay? I'm going to set this aside for a minute. I want to point out this gasket here. That's really important that that gasket be good, in good shape, because that's what makes a seal, okay? You got to keep a good seal. If not, you're going to get air that's not being measured by your mass airflow sensor, and it'll throw your ignition off, okay? Now, take a wipe in here. You see it's a little dirty, a little carbony. You might wipe that a little bit. Okay. Alrighty, so now back to, so this is your throttle body, and this is what it looks like. Now the front side looks pretty clean, but the back side here is where it gets gummy and dirty. And that's what you have to clean up so that it doesn't stick and it, well, throttles properly. So I've got some cleaner for that, and I'll show you that in a few moments. And we'll get to the business of cleaning this thing. This is what I like to use, CR3 Throttle Body and Air Intake Cleaner. These guys have been around for a long time. They make good products, but there's other products out there. You don't have to do it. You know, by the way, some people, they don't take this apart. They'll just leave it in place, and they'll take a bottle of this stuff and they'll just spray it in there. Well, you can do that, but it always doesn't do a very good job. All right. Now, you can see in here, you can see some daylight through there. And after cleaning this, maybe this will close a little better and we'll get less daylight. If you can see daylight, that means air's getting through there, and it's not gonna close and throttle properly. When you spray this down, spray it down generously. Don't be shy with it. So just, you know, take it, hose it really well. This stuff is really flammable, so be careful when you use it. Make sure you don't have any spark or flames around you. If the engine's too hot, that could be a problem too. So just remove it, take it to an open air area, because this stuff is kind of gaseous, and it'll, boy, it'll get in your nose and your lungs, and it could cause you problems. Anyway, let's spray it down, we'll clean it up, and we'll take a look at it afterward. All right, so what I forgot to mention was, it's a good idea to put on some shop gloves, nitrile gloves, or just protective gloves, because that stuff can be kind of hard on your skin as well. Now, if you look in here, it looks so much cleaner. Got it all cleaned up, and we're good on this side as well. And remember how you took it off. You took it off with a connector pointing up, right? And the throttle body goes here. Now we're gonna put it back, and you're gonna make sure you get it on a nice clean fit against that surface and the flat surface here. So we'll do that next, and we'll follow up after that. Once you have your full bolts back on, and I don't know what the torque spec is, to be honest, but you just crank it nice and firm. Don't over tighten it. You could strip or break these bolts, okay? Then you take your connector, put your connector back on. Remember to slide the little red tab in to lock it, okay? Don't forget that. We'll put the air box back on, and we'll put everything back together, and that just about is it, okay? We're getting close to the end. Okay, this is kind of important. You see this rubber thing here, part of your fitting, there's a tab in here, and it'll go nested in between that. Also look around, make sure that down below the seal is almost against that nut there, okay? So you got a nice clean fit on top and on bottom. And then once you have it on there, you can take this guy and you can pull him, and you see how it goes from the larger end to the narrow end, and it locks this in. Then we take the 8mm and we tighten that up. And same thing with this one here. Okay, so this guy here, and we rotate him, lock him in, tighten him up, tighten him up. We got the hose underneath we have to connect. Okay, make sure he's on there and the clip is on. You hear it click so it doesn't come out. And that should just about do it. Okay, and there you have it. Just started the engine, fires right up, idle's nice and smooth. This thing used to hunt, or it wasn't steady idle. The idle was kind of erratic, you know? It was bouncing all over the place. But that's all it took. Take your time, clean this up, don't be intimidated by it. It's not a difficult job. Just take your time with it, and yeah, you'll save yourself a lot of money. If you take this into the shop, they're going to charge you for diagnosing, and they're going to charge you for labor. That could end up being a couple $100, $300. They might even tell you you need to replace your throttle body valve. but you don't have to. Just clean it up and give it a go. All right. Have a good one. Once again, Juan from Juan's Garage, your garage tip of the day. Have a good one. Take care, guys.